Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the On Hit podcast. I'm Robert, and I'm here with Matt. Um, Sorry for the delay in content, but we've had some technical difficulties. Plus, we went to Battle Hardened Chicago. We've been trying to wrap our heads around that. We also played some Fab this week. Matt, how'd you do this week?
I did all right. I busted out Kano again because he's getting close to hitting Living Legend. Wanted to play around with him, and I did fine. I definitely my glass cannon blew up on me in my very first game, and then in the I got a bye, so I did technically get a win. And then in my in my third game, I guess, was against you, who is, I mean, I've talked about this before, but you are my absolute favorite person to play Kano into, uh, just because you know the deck so well. Like I feel like neural pathways, like wrinkles in my brain growing as I'm trying to play into you. So,
Nice. I
and I
appreciate
almost
that.
got there. I just got a little greedy there at the end, but
For sure, they were all close games, and I mean, anybody who plays Kano knows that you're either going to do it or you're not. Um, and
yeah,
it was a nerve wracking match. I mean, to be fair, I think I told you um, I had fun, but I didn't know it until I was done. You know, it's one of those things in the throes of it. It's like I don't want to have to play this way, but I've got to keep pitching my hand. And I'm not going to give away too many of the secrets, but um, I'm still glad that
yeah, it's
you
stressful.
busted them out. You made them happen.
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna play him next week, but we have our Super Slam pre-release next week.
Yes, we do. So shout out to Grandmaster Games. They are located in Indianapolis, just north of Thompson. You guys should come out and
Yeah, I think he'll be putting out he'll put out a little APB on Facebook, but absolutely, we still have plenty of spots open.
yeah, and in general, just to come and play in armories with us. Anybody in the Indianapolis area, feel free. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I played Valda on Wednesday, and I did okay. I lost my first game. It was very close, but I ended up getting two all red hands back to back, and that was enough for him to gain back tempo. It was against Fang, um, and I was playing against a very
Yeah.
good Fang player, so props to him. And then I played against who was that? Oh yeah, Kasai. It was two warriors back to back.
Yeah.
And Kasai also very tough. But with Valda, I was able to keep my seismic surges just chugging along the whole time. And then my third game against you, which even though I lost my first game, my third game was my toughest by far, because like in all my decks, I build them to just dump the entire hand, right? And in Decano, that's not an option. So I wasn't able to keep the engine online with Valda, but I was able to basically trade you value. It felt like a grind, dude, just turn by turn, with a couple little pop offs on each side. But it was a good time. So I went 2-1. The winner, ironically, dodged both of us. That dirty dog, and he's playing on one of our favorite heroes too. So hopefully we can get him back next time.
Oh yeah. We'll get to him. He seems to be tilting the table with his luck. He's been just like rolling hot on scab skins. He's been playing Knucklehead and rolling hot on that. So
Yeah,
shout out to him for having a little bit of RNGesus on his side.
yeah, having double sixes and ruling the world for a second.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
ruling the world and competitive winners, we went to Battle Hard in Chicago. Um, I
Yeah.
had a really good time. I know you said you really enjoyed it as well. You want to give me some of your thoughts on how the tournament went and your thoughts on the LL format?
Yeah. The very first thing I do want to say is shout out to MinMax Games, for that being like our very first major event that we went to. Um, that was a great time. It was a really great experience. They put on a really good, clean tournament. Um, it was awesome. The hotel we stayed in was really nice. Um, that certainly was a very positive experience. I think that will draw me into wanting to do something like that again. I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, you were on Phi, I was on Viscerai.
Yeah,
We,
the LL format. So we learned a lot.
yeah,
You know, we I think the last time that we were on here, we had discussed we were going to take things that we knew very well. We were going to update them to Living Legend, and we were going to go with the expectation of just having a good time. We did. we did precisely that. We went, we had a good time. We did not get skunked. Nobody went home with a goose egg. You and I at least got one victory apiece. Um, but the rest of our not so successful matches really came down to um, that is not a format that you can really play outside meta. There are very clear best in show heroes in that format, and you miss out on so much of the power of the format when you um, just kind of dirtling around with heroes that kind of get a little bit of a buff, as opposed to something that, Chain that sped run to Living Legend, Starvo that sped run to Living Legend. Um, Zen is the new deck that I went from, wanting to play Fly to being like, hang on, there's a better way to do this. Let's actually get like 10 damage out of Stubby Hammers and make it better than a legendary. So,
Yeah, I had a very
um,
similar experience with Viserai where I walked away essentially feeling like I would have had much more success playing Chain, just because you get access to more powerful cards. You can take advantage of more stuff in the Living Legend format. But it was a great time, and it definitely made me want to play more Living Legend. So anybody who was like us and kind of just staying hands off, staying in their own formats, it's great. It's a great time, but like Matt said, it does feel like you can really hedge your bets by choosing out of a select few heroes. Um, and they're fun, and they're diverse, and there are diverse ways to build those heroes and still be successful. But just the power spikes of some of these legends are unreal.
yeah, I mean, if we look at the ones that are there, I mean, Starvo, every time that we get a Guardian set or a Rosetta type set, um, Jarl cards, he just gets better and better and better. Chain, same thing. Chain's probably going to hit a massive power spike when we head back to the next Monarch set.
Yep.
Um, like that'll be nuts for him. Zen, every time new Ninja stuff comes out, but even then, Zen's kind of already a pretty complete package. Briar, same thing. We saw a lot of Briars at that event.
Yep.
Briar just had Rosetta to boost her up.
And it did.
Yeah. Yeah, but also it wasn't even so much Rosetta that I saw. It was like the Nimby Nimblism combo.
Yeah, that's super cool with her lightning auras.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say the other thing that I personally gained from playing Living Legend and certainly playing at like tournament level, um, it really made me view the overall power level of this game in a different light, especially the power level of Classic Constructed. It made me very patient towards some effects that I otherwise was not. I know at the beginning of our testing, I was getting rattled by cards that are even just kind of restricted in LL. And so by the end of it, by the time we hit the tournament, it was just kind of one of those like, oh yeah, I forgot the social contract means there's a winner in this game, there's a loser in this game, and everybody here has determined and decided that they're going to use the best possible means to get to that. So
Yeah, for
it was
sure.
eye
And
opening and it was very humbling as a player.
yeah, I mean everybody we played with was extremely respectful. It seemed like, and again, we didn't have super high winning records, but I don't feel like they would have been super tilted either necessarily. I had my fair share of judge calls, just for questions about interactions with like spellbound or spellbound creepers and some like prism stuff, but it was great. And again, Minmax can't rave enough about how great they were as far as what they put together. We were able to actually stay on site for pretty cheap, so um, I think there was room for more people there also. So if you're in that kind of area, be encouraged to come out and try something new and participate in an event that maybe you don't feel like you're up to snuff on. You'll quickly learn how to get up to snuff by participating. And we played 4 games and then we left. You could play all day if you wanted. I don't know how many rounds they had for the amount of people they had, but I think they played at least one more round, if not two, before they go into like a top 8 type scenario. So
I think it was 6.
was
I
it
think it was
six
six
rounds?
rounds.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
and they had food and snacks and vendors, and it was a great time.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was much more accessible than I think we initially thought. It was very close to us. It was about a 3-hour drive to go to Chicago, but um, it just the price of getting in there, the price of staying in the hotel. I mean, I think that whole weekend was an under $200 weekend.
Yeah, phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal.
Yeah, great. Great time. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video.
Yeah.
Let's we have some Super Slam spoilers coming up. Well, I guess not spoilers, right? Where this set's the whole set's been spoiled, but we've got our pre-release coming up, and we initially in the first run of this video we wanted to do pretty close to a full set review. We really touched on all of like the Majestics and the super rares. We got like a 2.5 hour long video, and then Robert, as you were mentioning earlier, with our technical difficulties, our audio just turned out to be dog water.
Yeah.
So unlistenable, unwatchable. It was basically just a trash of 2.5 hours. So we chose in this video, Robert, you picked the 5 cards that you were the most excited about or enjoyed the most. I picked my 5, and I think just for ease of content and for streamlining the video for people who want to listen, especially because a lot of content has already been released on the set, we'll just give our top 5, and we'll talk about some more of the set. So do you want to lead us off?
Sure. And just a note, I haven't done any playtesting with these cards yet. I've just kind of looked at the set and theory crafted it. I'm waiting for spoilers to come out. Now that they're here, I'm kind of getting some more ideas. So I'm undecided between Reviled and Revered, but if you look at the cards that we've chosen here, mine all tend to lean kind of towards Revered, or Reviled rather. So that may be the path I end up taking. But yeah, so first you'll notice on here that there are not 10 cards, there are 14. And that's because while we chose our top 5s, some of them are kind of tied together. And my first 2 are going to be Cheater's Charm and Liar's Charm. So Cheater's Charm is a 0-cost yellow Reviled Brute instant that says choose any number, steal a confidence or toughness token, the crowd boos you, and if you control an attack with 6 or more power, deal 2 damage to target hero unless they discard a card. Liar's Charm, which is Liath themed, Cheater's Charm was KO themed, says same thing, 0-cost yellow Reviled Guardian instant, choose any number, steal a toughness or vigor token, the crowd boos you, target hero loses and can't gain abilities this action phase unless they discard a card. These to me seem super flavorful for Reviled. They're mean effects. You're taking your opponent's tokens. I believe the Revered ones, and the Revered ones are also very good, but I prefer these effects. I think the Revered ones just say like destroy a token of some sort, but these say steal, so you get to take control of it. The crowd booing you will give you a myriad of effects for all the cards in this set. And then the disruptive aspect of this, where Liar's Charm is probably a little bit more powerful over the earlier 2 stages of the game, being that you can essentially humble a hero unless they discard a card at instant speed. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cheater's Charm on
being
the
able
other
to do
hand,
that while also like throwing a humble at somebody is pretty insane. Like you can
for
throw the
sure.
humble, wait for them to block it, and then just flash out the Liar's Charm as well.
Right, or a race face. Hit him on
Yeah.
2 fronts, so it's like, well. Cheater's Charm having 2 damage. Early to mid game, probably not as powerful as Liar's Charm. Late game, it's just a kill shot. At the late stages of the game, it's like you let your opponent, put an attack on the stack and pitch for it, and maybe they played a non-attack, so they've dumped their hand, and you say, well, you can't discard a card now, so here's 2, and you die. These are super cool, and like I said, I love all 4 of them. I like their utility. They're very toolboxy. They do a lot for you.
Yeah, Cheater's Charm is very fantastic because this is not the first time we've seen something similar like this in Brute. This is very reminiscent of Reckless Swing. For anybody who actually plays Brute and has played Brute for a long time, you know where most of your victories come from. It's a Reckless Swing. It's just 2 damage on the stack that somebody can't do anything about. Absolutely, like Cheater's Charm. My first impression of this card is that it will win me a very good percentage of my games specifically.
Yep. And these are also super rares, which is pretty cool. They brought these back for this set.
Yeah, super rare, super slam. It's awesome.
Yep. So the next one on my list is Truth or Trickery. And this card is... this card's interesting to me. It's another yellow. I picked a lot of yellows this time. It is a Yellow Reviled Guardian block. It's a 3 block. It says when this defends, you may look at the top card of your deck and choose a color. If you do, the attacking hero guesses if that card is the chosen color. Then they look at it. If they guess wrong, they discard a card. Um, this is just a very unique way to interact with your opponent that ends up like you don't have any downside, unlike some of the cards from Pack Mastery Guardian, where like you might lose a clash that does something kind of funny, and then you have to discard a card. Well, this is always just a 3 block for you, and if they don't guess right, they discard a card. Um, I think it's going to tilt some people, and I think that people that are close friends are going to be able to look at this for what it is, which is a reviled card, and it makes me super excited for not only the limited set, but in constructed playing these heroes. I love hand disruption. That's kind of my toxic trait. So there's a lot in this set.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the really nice kind of staples of Reviled, as it seems, is there is going to be a lot of hand disruption.
Yep. Next we have Cheap Shot, which I love the art of this card. This is a 0-cost reviled action. It's a 2-block yellow. It says if you've been booed this turn, you may play this as though it were an instant. And then it says that last part of Cheater's Charm, deal 2 damage to target hero unless they discard a card. Again, this is kind of mean, You're really going to be stripping cards from people's hands doing this, or just giving them a bunch of weird damage that is hard to interact with. I mean, this can be played at instant speed. So, and there will be ways to be booed on both players' turns. So, this opens up some interesting doors for the reviled heroes, at least, I think.
You can play this after you play a Cheater's Charm.
Absolutely.
Or a Liar's Charm, because
Yep.
both of those boo you, and then you can flash this one out too.
Yep.
I love the art on this too, because I love that like the chick in the middle is like, it looks like she's trying to like almost
hey.
break up a fight.
Yeah. That guy's got his tongue out. It's pretty crazy. So next is the first generic card that I'm super excited for. This is Strongest Survive. I got the blue pulled up. The blue is a 3-for-5, 3-block, brute attack action. It says when this hits a hero, they discard a card unless they reveal a card from their hand with power greater than the damage dealt this way. This is, I think, going to change. It's going to change how I play Heavy Hitters KO, for sure. I'm super excited to get my hands on a playset of these and put them in and kind of build around this card and see what kind of problems I can give people. I'm trying to make all of my stuff Runeblade, basically, whether it's Valda or KO. I want them all to do Runeblade things. I think this is super cool. So it's 5 on the blue, 6 on the yellow, 7 on the red. It's what you want in a KO brute card, I think. What do you think about this as a fellow brute player?
I love this. This makes my Rhinar brain feel very good. This is awesome, dude. We just within the last like 2 years of the game, which in a 5-year-old game, 6-year-old game, not too crazy, but within the last couple years of the game, Brute has really leveled up as a class, and we have really gotten some very powerful on hits. This is the first time we get to just straight up interact with somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Outside of the Intimidate mechanic. This is like, I mean, well, to be fair, Splatter Skull and some other things, but this card's great. Like I said, I think about this in Rhinar quite a bit. I like the idea of making stuff really weird for people, forcing them into these weird, like I'm forcing them essentially to play mid-range. And if they're already playing mid-range or they're playing defensively, Rhinar's trying to make them not play their game plan as well. This is a great addition to that. And the blue 5 power going into a KO deck, I don't know that I would be on 9 of these. I don't know why I wouldn't be per se, but I could see at least putting blues in and possibly even some reds.
Yeah, I mean, being the
with a
3
might
cost,
token just come as a 2-card 8.
being a 3 cost is the toughest part about it, but like I said, I'm thinking of doing more of a pump-based KO, which will admittedly be not ideal in KO. He really takes advantage of being able to I mean, this doesn't say anything about having 6 power on it. You know what I mean? So that doesn't
Right.
necessarily take advantage of heavy hitters KO's ability. But that's my dude. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna do. And like you said, it may come
Yeah.
down to that. It may be a splash of these. It might be 3 blues and 2 reds or something. But I guarantee this on hit discard unless they show you a card with certain power. I mean, you're going to force interaction, and that's typically one of the things that Brute struggles into. Early game, your opponents can just kind of eat the damage that a Brute throws, even if it's a lot, and still send back some pretty nasty stuff. This forces that interaction so early that I think it's going to be worth building around
Yeah, that card excites me a lot for just any of the brutes that I play.
for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, especially the new ones. The last card I have in my top 5 is an expansion slot card, and this is honestly what's so crazy is I've played Vincent for so long. When I first saw this, my thought was this is going to go great when I finally build an LL chain list, and I think it'll be good in both. But I think in chain specifically, it's just going to be crazy. And that's kind of another point about how these cards. This isn't even a set contained card that is boosting a hero in LL. This is a 0 cost Shadow Runeblade action. It is a red 3 block. It says you may banish an attack action card from your hand. If you do, it gets +3 or go again until end of turn. Go again. This is beautiful for so many reasons. This is a good card to just play out. First of all, in Vincent, it fills your shadow quota to let you make a rune chant unpreventable, and with your boots, it lets you double up on go again, which is sweet. A little trickier, but in Vincent, I mean, in Vincent, it might be like, you know, eloquent eulogy, pull tunic into the boots into a painful passage, banish another card from your hand, give that card go again, and off to the races. Again, the flavor of being a utility card that puts it in a playable zone for the shadow heroes, or just in general pumps or gives go again. I mean, that's what I'm always trying to do, one way or the other. So, super excited for this.
Yeah, as somebody who plays into Shadow Runeblade, this card makes me sad.
Yeah, good,
Only
good.
because of how cool it looks and how good it is. And
Yeah,
man, the art on it's so sick.
it is pretty sweet. That bloody demon hand thing coming from the other side, and the runes on that hand.
Yeah.
Man, I miss Viscerai and
Well,
CC.
Robert, I like your list, dude. I like your 5 cards. These are
Thanks,
5
man.
very good cards.
Based on these cards, it feels like I
Yeah.
should probably play a reviled hero, probably reviled KO. But I put some Guardian stuff on here too, so it's actually split: 2 Brute cards, 2 Guardian cards, 1 Runeblade card, 1 reviled action.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You
You
did just
also,
leap yourself into the Guardian class too, so
for sure, you have some good cards on here too. I mean, luckily, you put these on here because I would have been even more torn than I already was. I mean, when we were putting these lists together, we were like, well, do we want to put this one on there? Like, well, what about this one? It's like, well, we're going to end up again doing a full set review at this rate. So,
I'm sure.
yeah, what you got? What you
We
got? You
also
got,
bumped some elbows already.
for sure.
Oh yeah. All right. Alrighty. So I was a little facetious as well. I picked 2 cards for my first card, only because they are both very similar in style. It is Wind Up the Crowd and Outside Interference. Wind Up the Crowd is a blue 3 cost, 6 power, 0 defense, revered brute action. It's an attack. It says instant, discard this, create a toughness token and a vigor token. The Outside Interference is a 3 cost, blue, 6 attack, 0 defense, reviled brute attack action that says instant, discard this. You may reveal a reviled attack action card from your inventory and put it into your hand. So, effects aside, the fact that it appears that LSS has kind of like this little funny rule where they know that every brute is going to run Recurrent Blue. And so every time they add a talent to brute, they just go, here is 1 more 6 power blue for you. Just
Yep.
one. You can have just one. Um, these cards are very good. The revered one, I will say, is less strong than the reviled one. It is a super rare, but making a toughness and a vigor token is very cool. Brute did not previously have access to vigor tokens. When vigor, mites, and agility tokens came out in heavy hitters, they only had access to agility and might, which is the go again and plus damage. So this is really cool that this is their way to kind of toss in those extra tokens to the revered talent. Um, Outside interference, however, is nuts. Um, this effect of being able to pull a card from outside of the game, not necessarily outside of your deck, but from your inventory, and then just put it into your hand. You can, the toolbox of that is so insane. You can go grab another blue and just have discarded a 6 power card for any of those effects. You can go grab any of the reviled actions that just, I mean, anything you want. And the fact that it says reviled attack action card does not limit it to, can't also just go grab reviled brute cards as well.
Right.
So I'm very excited for both of these cards. I'm looking at probably trying to build Tough Nut and KO. So these are both cards that I will just have to pick up full playsets of.
Yeah, I like that Wind Up the Crowd is a throwback to Wind Ups, you know? And it seems really
Yeah.
powerful. I mean, you lose 2 block, but you gain an extra token essentially. And these tokens are sweet. I mean, it's what, you know, brutes typically struggle with is low block values and expensive casting costs. This gives you both of those things. So
Yeah, I am, and again, LSS has to be listening to, all of the Alexas and iPhones in my house and heard me talking about I would do probably some pretty crazy things for another 6 power blue. So
yeah, they give you
they
two
heard
of
my
them.
wishes and they answered them for me. Yeah. Yep. Speaking of good blues, the next card that I want to talk about is Overturn the Results. This is not a card that I will probably play in anything. I may. I don't know. I picked this card strictly because out of all of the flavor of this set and all of the funniness of this set and the cool stuff in the set, this might be my favorite. So this is a 3-cost blue that has 5 attack, 3 defense. It's a reviled attack action. It says, if you would fail to win a clash revealing this, instead you win the clash and the crowd boos you. The flavor of that is an absolute win, in my opinion.
Yes, that card seems hilarious, and the interaction it's going to cause is just, you know, people are not going to like this. They're going to be like, "Oh, sweet, dude, I hit like a 7 power." You're like, "Well, I win this time." And then you get booed.
There's
So
going
you
to be
get even
nothing
more
funnier than
stuff.
doing that. Oh man, and honestly, the funny thing about the way that like the reviled wants the crowd to boo you does genuinely feel like you're going to get a little bit of hostility from your opponent.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. I can truly like I can envision that in my head right now. Okay, we clash, and someone goes, I have an 8, I have a 5. It's like, cool, I win. Well,
Oh yeah.
yes, but also because I lose, I actually win. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, also the crowd boos me.
Yeah. So now I'm going to flash out a cheap shot because I was booed.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there you go. See, now we're overturning the results, so that we're giving somebody a cheap shot.
Poke him in the eyes, dude.
Beautiful.
There will be eaten cards.
Clearly
There
there
will
was
be eaten
a.
cards.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Clearly there's a little bit of a theme to what I got going on too. So not only reviled, a little heavy, but brutes as well. Um, Leads me into my next card, which is Song of Sinew.
Oh yeah.
This is a 0-cost yellow brute action. It says reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Your next attack this turn gets plus X attack, where X is the number of cards with 6 or more attack revealed this way. Put them back in any order. It has 2 defense. This card, in my opinion, and maybe not in every scenario, but in most, will replace Cast Bones in Heavy Hitters KO. The fact that you could put them back in any order, I think, is the line of text that is the most shockingly surprising to me. The fact that you can look and you can find a Beast Within and tuck it on top and know that you're going to pulping right into it. The fact that in Tough Nut you can put a blue 6 power on top and know that you're going to activate and pitch that blue 6 power to be able to get the toughness token, be cheered, and swing a rock for 7 unpreventable. Rhinar, same thing. If you're playing Rhinar and you're actually playing attack action, or you're playing non-attacks out of your hand to do other things, being able to know what you're going to draw and setting that up so okay, now I can actually play Wild Ride. Now I can actually play Pulpings. I think this is a very good Brute card. Even if this turns out to be like a 0 for 2, 0 for 3 that guarantees you some extra damage or an extra effect, I think that's fine. And in Heavy Hitters KO, this is probably almost always going to be a 0 for 4. I mean, this is just a great addition to Brute.
For sure. Like you said, the part that is off the cuff, not as impressive, but is actually super crazy, is what you're saying. The reordering of your cards and your top deck is so powerful, just because it also lets you know what you're getting into. It saves you from putting your Bloodrush Bellows in harm's way. A ton of utility. Yeah, I do like this card a lot. I want to run it with Strongest Survive to pump that up, so it's even harder to prevent the discarding effects. I love this card. I will be picking up 3 of these for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, and again, playing Brute, there is genuinely, like, as powerful as Brute can be sometimes, there is the very real possibility that you go, all right, Bloodrush Bellow pitching a blue, discarding 6 power card, of course, drawing into 2 cards, sweet, perfect. They're 6 power cards. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna pop my sash. I'm gonna Wild Ride. I'm ready to go. Uh-oh, I drew into a Cast Bones. Uh-oh, I got to randomly discard a card. Oh man, I discarded my Cast Bones.
Right.
Like, being able to avoid that will it just gives KO even more consistency, and we know very well time and time again that the more consistent you make a deck, the just absolute much of a powerhouse it's going to become.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
A card that I didn't even think about kind of synergizing with that, but also being in the same vein of maybe not as powerful, but just a surprisingly good card, is Visit the Boneyard. This is a 0-cost blue Brute instant, which, to my knowledge, I think Brute only has one other instant outside of this set.
No Fear?
2.
Is
No Fear, and yeah. There is No Fear is I can't remember what set that was from. But we also have Bonehead Barrier, which is just super rare from all the way back in like Welcome to Wrath. Very interesting one. You roll dice and prevent X damage. So this card, what's great about this card, so put a card with 6 or more power from your graveyard on top of your deck, and then it says create a Vigor token, which Vigor is the pops at the start of your turn, you make 1 resource. Again, all of the things that we talked about with Song of Sinu, as far as the importance of being able to know what the top of your deck is equally applicable to this card, as well as being able to put something specific up there. Yes. Being able to grab a blue 6-power card and be ready for Tough Nut and like have blocked with a Wrecker Romp early and then play this card and go, okay, so I know, get my confidence, I'm going to get my toughness, I know I'm going to be able to make this token. Maybe I can set this up on the turn before so that I know this Vigor token on my turn I can turn into an extra point of damage with my Glut. Like this card ties together so many good things. In Bloodrush Bellow, like KO and Heavy Hitters KO, being able to put a Beast Within back on top and know that that's what you're going to draw and discard into with your hand. I love this card. I genuinely love this card. Same thing. It might go in Rhinar. It will probably maybe find its way in Heavy Hitters KO. I'm real weird about whiffs in Heavy Hitters KO, but with cards that fix whiffs, you know what I mean? You kind of allow yourself a little bit more.
You know what I can see this doing
flexibility
really well
there.
I can see this doing pretty well in Levia. I'm curious to see what this card can do with like Call to the Graves. What kind of combos you can set up when you can tutor a card out of your deck into your graveyard and then put it on top of your deck with Visit the Boneyard and get a resource for next turn. It seems like you can really set up some super spiky things.
Yeah, and I mean, really even just the card that we love using and abusing the most with this effect in Brute is Beast Within.
Right. You
Call to the Grave, throwing Beast Within into the graveyard, getting another card, putting it back on top, drawing it, discarding it, getting another card. I mean, oh my gosh, you think about this in a Berserk LL list too. Oh my goodness.
Unreal, dude.
setting it off, dude.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Um, yeah.
I'll
And
definitely
then
be
my
getting
last
them.
card. So yeah. I will as well. I'll be picking up probably a full play set of these. This is a card because it's a rare. I'm gonna try to get some shinies up.
Nice.
Try to make my brute decks look prettier than they really should. All right, my last card. I did the same thing you did. I grabbed an expansion slot card. Not to be, not necessarily to have like an agenda to this video, but because I also am genuinely super excited about this card. Um, Tempest Palm Gustwave. This is a 0 cost, 3 attack, 3 defense, yellow ninja attack action card. This has combo, says if Surging Strike was the last attack this combat chain, this gets +2 attack. It also says if this is played at chain link 3 or higher, this gets go again. Um, we recently have just been getting fire added to Katsu's card pool. I am a huge Katsu stan. Anybody who's watched any amount of these videos knows by now. I am like Katsu was he's my pet deck. He's the deck I started with. Every time that he gets pushed more and more and more, I just get more and more excited. I think this is very similar to how much I liked Retrace the Past. I think this is like a perfect addition to his deck. Um, I see this replacing my Even Bigger Than That in my list. I love what Even Bigger Than That does, but that also is a 0 cost yellow. This fits perfectly into that 0 cost yellow slot, but it also adds me a 3 block, adds me a Prismatic Leyline target. I'm a big Prismatic Leyline Katsu guy, so having a card that not only gets natural go again, it has to be at Chain Link 3 or higher, but Kadachi this card, you're fine, right? Like you're almost always Chain Link 3 or higher. If not, it's a 3 block. Who cares? Um, Making it to where like if you play, Surging Strike during a Prismatic turn, that comes in for 6, and then you play this and it comes in for 7, and then you play a Retrace the Past that also comes in for 7 because it's combo. Put all that onto something crazy, and they're making Katsu get to the point now where it almost doesn't matter if you interact. If you really can view your lines and you really make your deck, like you can make your deck super consistent with Gust Waves. You can make it to where you have all these great ways to get going. You could run 9 Surging Strikes. You could run Beat Like Waters. You can do silly things like Descendant Gust Wave into a Bonds, going and grabbing a Whelming Gust Wave and breaking your boots, and the Whelming Gust Wave goes into a Retrace, which you can name Surging Strike to play into this, to play. Like, you just snake through these crazy power turns that should not it should not exist.
Sounds like ninja shenanigans, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm so pumped for this card. This is gonna be like I need to get 3 Rainbow.
Sweet.
But
Well, it sounds like all
that
in
wrapping
all,
up,
yeah. I mean, you seem pretty turned on by this set. I feel the same way. I think.
oh yeah, dude, Heavy Hitters is my favorite set, and I'm hard pressed not to enjoy this set. Um, when we play our UPF limited, because that was the other thing. I know you kind of sat out the um, release weekend stuff of Heavy Hitters and like did you play our Heavy Hitters pre-release?
I did not.
That's right. We did UPF for that as well. And UPF Limited is a lot of fun. It's very cool. Some heroes that probably have no business being good end up being really. For instance, I think we played like a kitchen table version of it too, and I played Betsy and was able to clutch a 3-person UPF with Betsy.
Nice.
So I'm very excited. The flavor of the set is phenomenal. I
Yeah.
mean, we went back to a more gritty art style as well. We got away kind of from the cartoony art style of High Seas. Um, the fun is still rooted in like a grittiness, still rooted in a more flesh and blood feel.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. It seems a little more mature, but there's still some kitschiness and some funness to it. But it still feels like a fighting game in this set, and a little less about being super artsy. I think it's going to be fun if people can kind of get into their roles and you know play the role of the underdog who's getting cheered for, or play the role of the guy who's kind of a dickhead, but is getting booed a lot for it. And and who knows? Maybe it'll be a really toxic time. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'll be fun. I think we have a good enough group of guys that we'll all have a great time. I did notice that there are a lot of yellow cards in our chosen selection, which I think is kind of ironic. Um, just a side note, I know you also mentioned something about there being a lot of expansion slot cards.
Yeah, I am thoroughly like thoroughly impressed with all of the expansion slot cards in here. I think that every expansion slot card in here is great and is necessary. However, there are a fucking lot of them, dude.
Yeah.
There are a lot. 31 of them, I believe. When we looked earlier, I know I saw the bait token was a basic, so I am theorizing, and hopefully either somebody will confirm this or maybe we'll confirm this if we open one up. But I am either hoping or would assume that the bait token will always be paired with the
Take the bait.
with that majestic card, the take the bait. Thank you. If not, if you just randomly find a bait token in one of your packs, I'm gonna be a little. Um,
Yeah.
but there are a lot. I think they said that it's 1 in 6 packs, so I do think this is going to be one of the pricier expansion slot sets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
Unfortunately, because
put,
they're all great.
well, they put some really high power, high dollar reprints in this. I mean,
Yeah.
felons, plow unders, warmongers, and snags. Those just in those cards. I mean, that's a lot of money. If this was your first opportunity to buy 3 of all of those, yikes! Ay caramba,
But necessary, right? Like
Yeah,
those
don't get me
4 cards
wrong. I'm glad.
especially.
Yes,
Like,
yes, I'm glad they're getting reprinted 100%. And that will help drive the price down, thankfully.
yeah,
But I mean, before this set, the cheapest one of those cards was what, $25 for like a plow under maybe.
yeah,
So
yeah. So, I am again. I'm thrilled at the expansion slot. I think all the new cards are great. I think reprints are great. I would have really liked to have seen. I don't know, maybe more frequency in printing of them. Who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe when we open our case, we'll find that we caught more of them than we kind of anticipated.
yeah,
And again, hopefully, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the set comes out, when prices have kind of bottomed out, you can pick up everything that you need for a relatively good price. Me, I'm really looking at picking up those Earth cards. I'd love to start getting into Verdants. Got to get into KO and Tough Nut first, but
yep.
start working my way on through stuff, and hopefully that cheapens the price. So
Sure.
maybe we'll catch another like real serious ban, and then all the Earth cards will just tank, and I'll pick everything up then, and then they'll unban something, and we'll be fine.
That'd be sweet for some people.
That'd be cool.
Some of us bit the
That would be
bullet,
cool.
but whatever.
Some of us are just, some of us just seem to be very lucky about catching things right before they go to the moon.
For sure, and we all have those moments, right? I mean,
For sure.
I got some cards for a decent price, so I can't complain. But all in all, what are your thoughts on this set?
I love it. This is my favorite set of the year. It's my favorite set of the last 2 years. Heavy Hitters was 2024. It might be. This is very on the border of being my favorite set. I love the Deathmatch Arena. I love this part of Wrath. I love these classes. I recently just got out of Guardian, but I still love Guardian. I'm gonna enjoy playing it in Limited if I do end up playing it. And I fucking love Brute, dude. Brute is always gonna be my favorite class. If everything burned in a fire, I would run in and save at least my rank. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, man.
So, what about you, buddy? How you feeling? How you feeling about the UPF coming up? About the UPF sealed?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about bullying people and doing things. Because here's my thing. Like, if I sit down and I'm reviled and I look across the table and I see a reviled player, you know what I mean? And I look to my left and my right and I see revered players.
Dude, we're jamming.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be like,
You know that's what it's. You know we're gonna have to get like the Globo Gym jackets, and we're gonna have to like
coordinated dance in. Yeah,
yeah, we have to. We have to have the entrance, dude. You can be
for
Blazer
sure.
and I'll be Laser.
I'll bring a boombox.
Unless you want to be Taser.
No,
Yes, dude, please.
nah, dude. I'm gonna shave the middle of my top of my head and call myself Frasier, dude.
Frasier,
Yeah, dude.
like the, like the show.
I've never seen Frasier, but
What's his name?
come on,
Kelsey
dude.
Graham.
Come on, dude. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer is exactly what I'm talking about. But no, dude. Anyways, I'm excited. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
he's very much like a. He's very much a sit in the barber chair and say like, a little off the top, just keep the sides. Rough dude.
Disrespectful, dude.
I can't make fun of bald people. That's what
Rest
that's
in
what I'm
peace,
gonna end
Kelsey
up looking
Grammer.
like is before too long. I didn't know he died. Damn, dude.
No,
We
he
knocked like
didn't,
an
dude.
ass.
He didn't, dude. I shouldn't have said that. He didn't, dude.
Dude, did we kill
Chill
Kelsey
out, dude.
Grammer?
Chill out, dude.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I am though. I'm genuinely pumped about this set. LSS, I love this. I love that we have adult hero tokens again. I love the flavor of this set, the theme of this set, the campiness, yet also the seriousness. I love the classes, the talents. I genuinely, there are the two things I can complain about in this set. One of them is my gripe with the expansion slot, and the other one is that I don't have $1 million to buy out the set.
Yep. Yep. I feel
So,
you.
yeah. Sorry again to everybody for the delay in our content. We're hoping to get back into just more regular content creation again. Honestly, we kind of fell off the horse a little bit and took us a second to get back up onto there. Borderlands just came out, so we've been playing the that. I mean, we've been
Yeah, that's a
busy,
big
so.
attention puller right there. I'm having a blast playing Borderlands 4, so
Yeah, I'm honestly itching so we can get off here and go jump on that game, to be
for
honest with
sure. Well, the last thing I want to say is just quickly, I'm not going to get into it too much. We're here to talk about games. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You can kill a man, but not his ideas. I don't think I need to say too much more than that about it, honestly.
Nope, I'll sprinkle my little piece on there of like, bad ideas are always defeated by good ideas, and if you believe that somebody is speaking bad ideas, you got to take it upon yourself to speak good ideas, but allow that for that exchange.
Right.
Taking somebody out because, or believing that somebody should be gone because you vehemently disagree with their message or you believe their words are dangerous. The real danger lies in taking a bullet to the throat.
Right. For sure.
So.
Anyways,
Yep.
We'll be back, guys. We'll get back on our good schedule and keep these videos coming. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys want to see. We'll definitely make some content about how this UPF goes and probably talk about the format a little bit. Other than that, Matt, I think that's all I got, man.
That's it. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.